Saying that I've been sewing my fingers to the bone is an understatement. We're 1/3 the way through October and Doll Discovery Month with the Virtual Doll Convention. The Virtual Doll Convention has already provided countless videos to entertain, educate, and help us enjoy the love of our dolls. Ann Fitzpatrick has been getting a lot of attention with her new subscription box. Elowen Wild is getting her chance to shine by being the doll released in Doll Discovery Month, and I thought before we forget, we should spend some time with Grace Marie Fitzpatrick. The Celebrate pattern is already available for the American Model doll as well as Tyler Wentworth. In creating the pattern for Grace, I thought it might be a nice addition to add a versatile sleeve. Let's go ahead and get started. Laid out before you are the pattern pieces to the Celebrate dress as shown here. We have the front of the dress and the side front, the side back and the back section. This is a new addition, which is the puff sleeve as shown here, as well as the front and the back of the train. In order to get started with the construction, we're going to grab our pieces and take some small clips in towards the curved edges and get the side front section sewn to the front section. Two additional notions that we're going to need to construct the pattern is a zipper. In this case, I'm going to be using a 12-inch zipper cut down to size, and then some 1/8-inch elastic for the sleeve gathers. For the next step, we'll take the center back seam and we'll sew from the hem edge to the dot as indicated on the pattern. You're going to note that this is a 1/2 inch seam allowance, unlike the rest of the construction, which is a 1/4 inch. With the zipper opening pressed open, we'll grab our zipper. We'll take that area where the stop is at the bottom of the zipper, place it below the finished edge, and pin it up one side. Sew the zipper in place, make a 90-degree turn at the bottom, and sew up that second side. If you're not comfortable with zippers, you can always baste the zipper in place and then machine stitch it. With the zipper installed to your satisfaction, you do want to make sure that the zipper actually still does function in case you caught any of your stitches into that zipper tape, which looks to be pretty good right here. If you want to, at this point, you can cut off the extra zipper tape. Make sure you do pull the pole into the lowest position so you have no chance of removing that pole from the tape. And then go ahead and cut it off level with the top of the dress. Once you have that done, you're going to grab your side back sections and sew them to the back section with right sides together. With our front and back sections prepared, we're going to place both pieces right sides together and sew the side seams. Before moving on to the construction of the skirt, I wanted to get a quick initial fit to our doll to make sure everything is looking good through the seams. And as you turn it over, it looks really good. Do remember to be careful about zipping up that zipper tape if you did cut it off at the top. So you want to keep it down just a little bit, and then you can squeeze it together if you want to get a good fit. With the initial fit of our dress to our doll confirmed, we went ahead and created the lining in the exact same steps that we used to create the exterior portion of the bodice, with the addition of turning up the hemline of the lining 1/4 of an inch and giving it a press. You can see that the zipper opening is already pressed back and everything looks to be good. We're going to place the lining to the bodice of the dress right sides together and sew around the neck opening from one zipper opening to the other side. You do want to check both sides of that seam before you clip or trim into the seam allowance. You also want to confirm that that point is actually in the very direct center of the center bust panel. So once we have those two things confirmed, we'll clip into the seam allowance, turn it right side out, and press the neckline. With the lining attached to the dress, we're going to confirm that the zipper closes equally at the top, which it does, and we're going to turn our attention to the skirt. After pressing the side seams open, we'll place the skirt with right sides together and sew the center back seam. Now that all our seams are pressed open, off camera, I completed the skirt section of the dress in the exact same way with the lining, and I'm going to place them right sides together matching the seams and sew the hemline. With the hem of the skirt complete and pressed, we're going to look quickly at the skirt and note that there is a center back seam, which we're going to match to the center back seam of the dress. We're going to run 2 rows of gathering stitches across the end of the skirt. We're going to run one less than 1/4 of an inch from the raw edge, and then we're going to run another one, an additional 1/4 an inch or more from that first stitch. That way we're going to get a nice crisp gather as we place the skirt to the dress. Once you have the gathers of the skirt evenly pulled, you'll place it right sides together to the top of the dress, matching the center back seam as well as the side seams, and get the skirt sewn in place. With the skirt attached, you'll check both sides to make sure that everything looks good. Your side seams are lining up. Your center back seam is lining up. You can go ahead and pull that second or lower basting stitch out and press the seam allowance up. With the seam allowance pressed up, we'll attach the lining folded edge to that seam as well as the lining to the zipper tape. With our lining attached, we'll get our dress turned right side out and we'll move on to the sleeves. The sleeve piece is just one large sleeve. What I'm going to do is run a zigzag stitch along both raw edges of the top of the sleeve as well as along the bottom, turn up the bottom edge to form a casing for the elastic, and then turn down the upper edge to form the other casing for the elastic. Once I have those two things done, we'll get the elastic set into the sleeves. With the casing sewn, we'll grab our 1/8 inch elastic and run it through each casing. We'll secure it at one end, pull it till it fits the shoulder of the doll as well as around her arm, and secure the second side. With the elastic secured in place, you'll place the sleeve right sides together and sew the underarm seam. We'll complete that second sleeve, slip the gown on the doll, and get those final photographs. I love how much this sleeve elevates the look of this dress. You can wear it strictly without, just a strapless dress, or you can add the sleeve in a couple of ways. You can bring that right up to the side of the dress, leaving the elastic exposed at the bottom, which creates an interesting gathered sleeve, or you can actually tuck the elastic up under, almost folding it in, which creates a balloon effect to the bottom of the sleeve, which I also think looks really great. You can also pull the sleeves down so that they look like they're attached, exposing the shoulders. I hope that seeing this gown on Grace definitely gives you a reason to celebrate. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions, please list it in the comment section below. If you're interested in learning more about Doll Discovery Month and the Virtual Doll Convention, I'll leave a link to them in the description as well. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.